Then you hire once a week individual session with a therapist. And I've never had therapy. So to sit down with a therapist and actually learn that, okay, drugs and alcohol was not my overall root cause. That was my bandaid. That was my medicine to numb the emotions that I was unable to address, never addressed. And when I had to dig a little bit deeper to get to my root causes, it really brought me to tears of thinking about that little boy that was 9 years old who never had answers to a lot of his pain, I was in survivor mode and had no one to turn to save him, and never thought, for me, I'm thinking all that stuff was just in the past, but little you know, if you don't address those things and be able to get that out, then you'll carry that. I carried it. I carried that for a while. And now that I know, I'm more self-aware of my upbringing and how I come up, because I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, and it was tough as a kid coming up to things that I witnessed, and I had a family, but it was very dysfunctional of a family, and I believe we all have dysfunctions in our families, and a lot of stuff just went unaddressed, and yeah, just having that therapy, man, God, that right there was a lifesaver. It's like they provided that for us, and just getting down to, that's when the light bulb really started coming on, having process groups, therapy sessions, and then getting up doing PT 3 times a week, light bulb started coming on. And then doing community services on Thursdays, getting out of yourself and being of service to someone else. And I learned how I was showing up in relationships, being selfish and self-centered. Like my part when working the steps on the big book, and we do our step 4, which is our inventory. I knew all this stuff was foreign to me, but actually learning this literature and how it applies to my life, I was like, wow. It was eye-opening, This is how I've been showing up in relationships. This is why I had a failed marriage. This is why I had so much guilt and shame and hurt and pain. This is why I was masking and putting band-aids over it and saying I'm okay even when I wasn't okay, So, yeah, the inventory is one of the biggest steps that I love out of the big book that I learned through Nehemiah, is having the 12 steps. And you do a fear and sex inventory. And then just applying the big book, the Bible itself, to it all. It all runs parallel. It all runs parallel on healthy living. You live outside that, then you're going to get what you get, And like I've lived outside of that for years. I ran from that structure for years, and I'm so thankful to now have structure and have a toolbox to know how to process life when it shows up.